The MCU has been on our screens for the last decade, and many characters have stood out amongst the crowd, winning over our hearts with their superheroics and unwavering ideals. One of my favorite characters being the Star-Spangled Man himself, America's ass.
Damn, boy, he's thick! Boy, that's a thick-ass boy!
That is America's ass.
Over the course of his own trilogy and 4 team-up appearances, we've got to see good old Stevie Wonder grow from a twig with a trash can lid to a
Handsome hunka.
with the most goddamn patriotic outfit you can possibly imagine and a vibranium trash can lid or frisbee thing. Seriously, what the fuck kind of shield is this? Shoot at his legs! His legs! Aim down! But whatever, we're not here to talk about his metal circle of death. We're here to find out an even more important question. A question that has plagued the minds of many MCU fans for years. How much explosive action has America's penis gotten? And I don't just mean Instagram leaks. I'm AC Ratty, and today we answer the question, is Captain America a virgin?
What do we do, Cap?
Now, of course we know Cap gets his happy ending with Peggy in Endgame. We can assume after Endgame, Cap gets to enjoy his retirement, but up until this point, has he been the incel supreme? Or maybe even cell supreme? Cell? Is that? I don't know. In the 1940s, America was in the midst of World War II. After the war was over, people started banging like there was no tomorrow. This created the baby boomers.
Whatever you say, boomer.
And before that, in the 1920s, a time of partying and debauchery like no other had begun. This was the very beginning of what we now call hookup culture.
Excuse me. Can I please have a smell of that pussy?
The Great Depression and the Second World War put that stuff to a halt though, and many women went back to a more monogamous and traditional lifestyle. Not counting the fact that everyone was busy doing other stuff like, fighting a war, collecting rations, building weapons, giving medical care, etc. What are the chances Steve was able to get things going before he became
Hunka.
The MCU wiki states Steve Rogers was born July 4th, 1918, making him roughly 27 years old when he was frozen in ice in 1945. If we say he was Captain America for about a year or so before getting frozen, he would be about 25 or 26 in his skinny parts of the first film. Since we know this time was much more busy and conservative than the 20s and the 50s, we can assume that it would be pretty difficult for old little Stevie boy to get a hookup with a girl. And we know in the movie he tells about his inexperience dancing with girls.
You have no idea how to talk to a woman, do you?
I think this is the longest conversation I've had with one. Women aren't exactly lining up to dance with a guy they might step on.
You must have danced.
Well, asking a woman to dance always seems so terrifying. In the past few years, just didn't seem to matter that much. Figured I'd wait.
For what?
Right partner.
We can easily assume that Steve has had really no dating experience and has grown up being more of a quiet and reserved guy due to his small and wimpy stature, the opposite of his good friend Bucky Barnes. And on top of that, based on the time period, it's possible he's one of those wait until marriage kind of guys anyways, leading us to the conclusion that Steve Rogers is a 25-year-old virgin.
When you grab a woman's breast and you feel it, and it feels like a bag of sand when you're touching it.
Bag of sand?
When he becomes Captain, he develops a crush on Agent Peggy Carter.
To me, pegging is a sex act that makes a lot of sense.
You what?
While it's certainly possible for him to have gone with any woman at the military base, the likelihood is very low because he would rather be with Peggy. And while it's also possible for him to have had hookups with stage dancers and fans of his performance before he goes back to the military, he would still have the same lack of experience that he had before his rockin' new bod, so he probably wouldn't get that far with just any woman. However, it is certainly possible, so we'll leave a score of one possible banging at the age of 26-ish. But in my opinion, I think it's unlikely given Cap's conservative values.
Figured I'd wait.
For what?
Right partner.
Flash forward to 2012, Cap is on Frozen and saves New York from aliens and Tom Hiddleston.
And Hulk.
Throw it back.
Stay dripped to the feet, night ticks on fleet. Fuck with it, fuck me, fuck shorty, fall free.
For the next 2 years until Winter Soldier, Cap works with S.H.I.E.L.D. regularly and develops a friendship with Black Widow. Do I think anything happened between them? It's hard to tell. She seems very flirty and close with him, something different from her friendship with Hawkeye, but that could just be bogged down to them just being good buds.
No, Natasha, she likes to flirt.
I've seen her flirt. Up close.
I doubt it, but it's not impossible. Plus, at the start of the film, we see them discuss possible relationships for Cap, where he states he's too busy with work to get into a relationship. Black Widow wants to help Steve get with somebody, but even after 2 years, he's clearly still adjusting to modern day. While it is possible for him to have been with someone in those 2 years, and maybe, just maybe, had a fling with Widow, I think both of those seem unlikely, but since it's still possible, I'll give 1 point for a possible banging at the age of 28 or 29. Now in 2016, we have Civil War. This is another 2 years of no action for our flag bearer, besides all the spine-breaking action.
My ears burn!
Towards the end of the film, he kisses Sharon Carter, who's the niece or something of Peggy. Kinda weird, but hey, you do you, Cap. When they kiss, she remarks,
That was
Late.
damn right.
so even though they have some type of romance, this is the first time they've gotten far enough to even kiss. Meaning, they've had this type of flirty, weird connection for like 2 years now. Wait. No. If our boy Cap is so shy that he takes 2 or 3 years to kiss a girl he likes, then there's no way he could have banged in the 40s, or even between Avengers and Winter Soldier. I'm taking my points off the board. Cap is too wholesome. He's not a hookup guy. He's not a bad boy. He barely knows how to talk to a woman. He's struggling right now. Look at his face. This isn't confidence. This is the definition of fake it until you make it. I say the possibility of him banging before 31 is extremely slim. Maybe, just maybe, he had something small with Widow. But honestly, other than that minuscule possibility, I just don't see it. Right now, our boy Cap is a 31-year-old virgin with a half-point possibility of banging at 28 or 29. Another 2 years later, Cap has been on the run, and this is possibly where his relationship with Sharon Carter could have went to the next level. Other than those 2 years of being a fugitive with a badass beard, he spends another 5 years before going back in time to Peggy in Endgame, meaning he has 7 whole years to have sex with somebody. 7 years, my guy! Even if he didn't get something going with Sharon while being a fugitive, and Sharon ended up being dusted like everyone else, what's the possibility Cap, lonelier than ever, didn't date anyone in those 5 years? I mean, really, if half of humanity was suddenly dusted out of existence, then everybody would be depressed as fuck, super lonely, and you guessed it, super fucking... I'd say this is the biggest possible time frame. By the time he's with Peggy, he's now 38 years old. While it's certainly possible for him to have been all waiting until marriage and he never changed that philosophy, it's overwhelmingly possible that he did the hanky-panky with Sharon Carter or anyone else within those 7 years. For the final verdict, Captain America either lost his precious V-card at the age of 28 through 29 or anywhere between 31 and 38. Kind of open-ended, still no definitive answer unless Disney decides to release a rated R cut of Avengers, I guess, but I think this video ends this discussion once and for all. But before we wrap up, some may wonder, hey, who cares? Why does it matter if our patriotic symbol of hope did the devil's deed? It's kind of misogynistic of you to talk about the women he's capable of being with, man. I just have one thing to say to those people questioning my character and the importance of this video.
I just have one thing to say. Hang on here.
It's the freak phone, and here's the party freak. Friday freaker, dancing new sensation, grabbing the nation, doing the freak call now.
I'm something of a scientist myself, a researcher, a detective of fiction. These matters are very important, and now I can safely say I'm the one who officially laid these questions to rest. There you have it, folks. Our mystery has been sort of solved. If there's any other mysteries bogging down your minds, please comment down below what else you'd like me to solve. If you liked the video, hit the thumbs up if you want, and subscribe if you want to see more like this. Follow my Twitter, my Instagram, and my Twitch. All the gaming videos I make are highlights pulled directly from there. I also write and draw my own superhero webcomic. The link to that and my Discord are in the description. See ya!